Okay, Amy, I'm going to talk about your swing here. And having seen your swing today, and then having seen your short game, I am convinced that we can help your score much better around the greens, probably than we can through your swing. There are some corrections that I'm going to recommend, but as I said, as a 13 handicap, you are half the national average, so you're probably one of the top golfers in your club, and you've arrived on a way to get the club on the ball more often than not. So I don't like to fix what isn't broken. I am going to point some things out here that I think would make you more consistent, but it would have to be, there would be a period of adjustment where you may get worse results in the short run, and I'm not sure that that would be the best thing for you to do in terms of how much improvement it would really be. Because you're largely an eye-hand skilled person who's taught themselves golf. So one of the things, the habits I want to break for you, and I want to see if you're doing this with your irons too, is this is a tremendous gap away from the ball. There's a reason you're doing that, and I'll explain it as we go. But you have I don't know if we're just on this swing or you have a habit of walking in a little closer as you start your backswing. So let's watch that again. You're here now. As you start your backswing, you walk in. Okay, so it would be better to just start in, right? Instead of walking in while you're starting your backswing. And the thing I want to review with your swing, I'm going to go do this on the irons more, but I'm going to mention this real quick, is it's a flat swing. It's a rounded swing. It's on I could describe it. It's on much more of a merry-go-round plane than a Ferris wheel plane. So golf is not played right on a Ferris wheel. It's not played straight up and down, and it's not played completely around. It's played on the diagonal, right? Well, your swing is much closer to the horizontal, at your height, that's where your leverage would come from. I always like shorter people to swing more around their body and taller people to swing up and down their body, because we achieve the leverage that's necessary in the golf swing that way. But it can get just too flat, and that's what yours at times does. So I think what we could best describe this as is a situation where you get your body to swing the club more than your arms and your wrists do. Okay? And we need to get more wrist cock in the backswing and more wrist snap in the downswing and close this gap a little bit. So, and again, my job as a teacher is to make your swing better. Better means more effective, not prettier. I'm not here to make anybody swing, because there's no such thing as a pretty swing. A pretty swing is an effective swing. The only purpose of the golf swing is to apply the club correctly to the golf ball. Not how it's done, no one cares. Okay? Yours is done flat, around. Now you have this habit of, again, walking in as your backswing goes. So there it is. It's a small step. But what I'd rather do is close all this gap to get your swing a little bit more vertical. And I'm going to show you a model what that might look like. Now that's, stepping in like that is kind of rare. There are people that as they get ready to take it back will step back a little bit. The famous golfer Lee Trevino had that method. Another golfer named Chichi Rodriguez and even Nancy Lopez on the LPGA Tour had that method. But they step back. They don't really step in as their golf swing is going back. So that could be another little area of consistency, okay? But here's the big thing. The arms are, in the golf swing, they operate under your shoulders because that's where they hang. If you walk down the street, your arms are hanging down below your shoulders. They're not hanging out like yours are here, coming out like this. they're hanging right down below. Okay. Now the reason you've chosen to stand that far away is because your swing works this way. So better golfers and very good eye-hand skilled people such as yourself distance themselves from the golf ball in a way that is complementary to their swing. And a swing that goes around your body is a wide arcing swing. So you have to be a good ways away or you would shank the ball. And that's why you fight that once in a while and where you struggle with the short game, because it doesn't have enough up and down to it. Okay, so I would not move in yet, though. Here's the key. We have to do this sequentially, because if you do get the swing a little more up and down, then we would start to move in. But if you move in before you do, you're not going to be better. You're going to be worse. You're going to shank almost every shot you hit. So I've got to keep you back until we develop a little bit more of the up and down. I've seen it too many times when the swing change is made, but not the address position, or vice versa. So that's where our experience is going to help what you do. Now, there's the body moving the club. Out, 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 out. So you got 6 1/2 of the other, right? The chicken or the egg. It's like, does your arm swing out because you stand far away, or do you stand far away because you swing your arms out? In either case, that is your motion. And it would be more like thinking of it as a tennis forehand or a swinging softball. But what we would like to do is have the club pointed at the ground and at the ball so that the arms can come right back under the body. That's where they're going to be connected to the body. So that's a pretty big change for you. And one that I'm going to suggest, I know would be good in the long run, but when you're having certain success with your current method, the habits at times are more difficult to break. I hope that you see my point there. 14, 13 handicap is what a lot of women would love to be. And so you're probably one of the top golfers in your club with your current method of hitting the ball, and you hit the ball in the turf and you hit it solid, but much more than you don't. But if you're asking me as a teacher, through my experience, the way that we would get you more consistent to the ball, to take away those occasional bad shots, and to make your short game much, much better, which is where I think the greatest benefit can be to you, it would have to be more vertical, more up and down with your arms more connected to your body. I hope that makes sense to you. So when you get to the top here, you can see what I mean by flat. I have a golf swing here. You see the angle to the arm? Now, I'm not suggesting that it has to be like that, but this is what we call pretty flat. Your club face also gets quite closed because you have a very strong grip. That's something I'm not going to likely do anything about. But what might help you feel is more wrist cock at that point. If you hinged your wrist, even if you kept your arm and that lower plane, if you cocked your wrist there and on the way down unhinged it here, snap. Like snap at the ball, as opposed to step into the pitch like you would in baseball. I think you see it clearly enough if you see it through that lens, that you're turning your body into it, and all I want you to do is snap your wrist down to it. And to do that, we're going to have to eventually be a little closer to the golf ball. Okay? I hope that paints a good first day picture for you, because I think, you have a lot of skill as a golfer. You really do. And, no teacher's job there's no such thing, as I said in the beginning, as a good swing that's not effective. But there's plenty of individualized swings, such as yours, that are effective. And where angels fear to tread, it's the same thing with teachers. I don't want to make you prettier. I just want to make you, more better and more consistent. So that's a decision that we'll make as we go. If I kind of like the way I'm hitting the ball right now, and say, okay, we'll leave that there, and we'll spend most of our time on chipping and pitching. But that's the way we would go with it. Okay? Nice to meet you, and good working with you. I look forward to tomorrow.